As part of the Smart Cities Expo, we have a few of our team members that flew in from our Bangkok office. So I'd like to introduce and invite Tanya onto the stage to give you an introduction and program overview of our Smart Cities activities. Can we give Tanya a round of applause, please?
Thank you so much, Wayne. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you're still here with us and not super sleepy. My name is Tanya Tongranan. I am the Senior Manager for Partner Success for our Smart Cities program here in the Asia-Pacific region. So happy to see all your beautiful faces in this very Singapore. I love coming back here. So start with a little bit about overview of our Smart Cities program with a little bit about the vision of our company, right? So our vision is by our CEO is to build the world's leading innovation platform, and we want to do that by making open innovation available for anyone and anywhere. Wherever you are in the world, you will have access to the best startups, the best innovation from all of our global locations around the world. Zooming in a little bit into our Smart Cities platform, so we provide the ultimate innovation platform to develop the smart solutions for the cities and companies of the future. And we do that by we bring in the stakeholders together in one collaborative ecosystem. And here you can see how it's shown on the screen. So we bring in together all the relevant stakeholders, government, university, venture capitals, startups, and corporations together in one platform. And what role does Plug and Play play? Plug and Play play. We facilitate all that connections. We do meaningful introductions, right? And we create impact. We make things happen for all of these relevant partners that we have in our ecosystem globally. Yeah. So under the Smart Cities program, we do not only look into one vertical, but we look into adjacent and multiple vertical, as you can see here. So we cover from real estate and construction, Internet of Things, mobility, energy, sustainability, healthcare, as well as other adjacent verticals as well that will make your city smarter and more sustainable. So when you partner with the Plug and Play Smart Cities program, that means you will actually have the visibility into different segment, different industry from across the globe. And in terms of our reach, we are currently in 13 cities around the world under the Smart Cities program of Plug and Play, and we're planning to open another 7 more. So that means you will really have the reach and the access to those local startups on the ground, definitely from Silicon Valley, many places in Europe, in the Middle East, as well as a couple of locations in Southeast Asia and Asia as a whole. Of course, we won't be here today without our amazing partner globally, and I'm so happy to have been working with so amazing corporate partners from around the world. And currently, we have 90+ corporate partners under the global Plug and Play Smart Cities platform. In Asia Pacific, we have around 8 partners, and we have been working actively with them over the years, creating meaningful impacts, great case studies, and investments that we can see throughout the years that we've launched the program. In terms of program statistics, and this one we're talking just only the Smart Cities Asia Pacific region, we have accelerated more than 80 startups. So now we're up to our 6th batch of acceleration program. I feel like time flies. More than 80 startups have been accelerated. We've worked with over 80 mentors regionally. We have hosted close to 200 events, workshops, and many, many other on-site and virtual events that we have over the years. And we have had over 30 successful case studies as well. And here are some of the case studies from one of the Smart Cities partner, which is Philinvest Development Corporation. This is some of the recent case studies that have launched. So Philinvest has partnered with Kenobi, PhilPass, as well as Spenmo. And another case studies, as illustrated on the screen, is our Jaran Pokapan group from Thailand, who partner with Bluefield to develop the biochar application for soil improvement. So the result for CP, which is one of the largest agri player in the world, has been really great. And Bluefield was one of the startups alumni that we had in our previous batches. So that's all the introduction part that I have for today. Actually, let's kickstart with our panel discussion. So first, okay, I will be moderating the panel, so still be here. I would like to invite Kun Atip Tanti Vorawong, who is the Board of Director and Chief Executive Officer for InnoPower. InnoPower is a fresh energy tech company set up by Thailand's leading power utility to invest, develop, incubate, and commercialize cutting-edge technology in the energy power sector. Ooh, very long introduction. Hello, welcome. Next, we have David Go, Regional Managing Director and Vice President for PTV Group. So David is a lifetime learner of cities. He is responsible for PTV Group's Asia Pacific region, who has been deploying technologies in over 2,500 cities around the world. Next up, we have Ken Go, the Chief Partnership Officer at Huawei Cloud and AI in Asia Pacific. Ken has keen interest in open banking, AI, neutral network, renewable energy, and has been with Microsoft and Oracle prior to this. Woo, long intro. Hi, everyone. How are you guys feeling? You can turn on your mic as well, but yes, switching off. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Are all the mics working properly? Good? Okay. Perfect. So once again, good afternoon to everyone in this room today and all the panelists. Thank you so much for joining us, especially Kun Atit, you flew from Bangkok and joined us in this very event, and both of you are based here in Singapore. Thank you for joining. So today, we are going to deep dive into the topic of enhancing digitalization and connectivity in sustainable city. It's a pretty broad topic, but just to warm up the panel today, warm it up a little bit, let's start with a quick round of introduction by each and every one of you. Maybe start with Kun Atip. Share with us a little bit about yourself, what your company does, some of the initiatives.
Sure. First of all, thank you for the kind introduction. Very lively as usual, Tanya. Basically, InnoPower is a joint venture of three leading power producers in Thailand, namely EGAT, Raj, and Expo. Together, they produce around 90% of all electricity in the country. And InnoPower, we focus on invest and develop new energy tech businesses. We have a venture capital arm underneath us and venture building, as well as strategic partnership to create quick wins. And essentially, the ultimate goal of this is not only about the monetary return, but obviously, the sustainability and also the access to greener, more efficient technology in the realms of energy usage as well. So I'll leave it at that first, and then maybe can ask for more later.
Awesome, thank you. So on to you, Dave. A quick introduction.
Sure, thanks a lot, Tanya, and glad to be here. So my name is David Go, Regional Managing Director for PTV Group. So PTV Group is a 40-year-old company, originally based in Karlsruhe, Germany, Baden-Württemberg. And so we are extremely niche in the space of traffic, transport, and logistics planning and strategy. So we look into city planning related solutions. We take in data, ingest data, and also on the operational side as well. So we, as what Tanya earlier mentioned, we have more than 2,000 cities in the world as our customers. So more than 50% of our businesses is with local government, central government, city government as well. So personally, I'm also a avid early stage investor. So Plug and Play has always been a close friend to my heart over the last, I would say, 6 to 8 years or so. So glad to be here to share, and we will talk more about my views on smart city later.
Awesome. On to you, Ken.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ken. I'm from Huawei. Most of you would have heard of Huawei, but just a quick overview. We are a technology company. So the technology we offer includes things like telco 5G, cloud solutions and AI, all the way down to renewable energy. Right, so that's in a nutshell what Huawei do. And we have presence not just in China, but across the world. Just in Southeast Asia alone, we have offices in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and the rest of Asia. Right, look forward to having a great session with you this afternoon.
Thank you. So let's kick off with the first question. So and we start off with the topic of built environment, perhaps, which because it represents over 40% of the global carbon emission today, and everyone is still trying their best to fix it. So maybe, Khun Atip, first question goes to you. What are the current issues in the built environment that you see, and what are some new technologies that you see can be deployed to make the execution of projects greener?
Well, yeah, I think there are a few key factors, right, that play into the success of decarbonization efforts. Obviously, one is that we need new technology that can do the feasibility of that decarbonization activities. But the other two that almost as equally important is the resource and also the use case or the POC platform for the startups to be able to generate that success, right? So for the first part, obviously, I think many startups here also working towards that goal. The part that InnoPower plays a big role is obviously the venture capital part, which is the resource, the know-how about the energy in our assets. And the last part as well, that we provide our assets as a platform for the startup that relevant to our goal to come in and use it as a POC base. So I think, if we are able to create this kind of ecosystem, then I think the chance of success of decarbonization activities should be able to get should be better, right? For example, we invest in one startup called Turntide Technologies. A few months back, it's the US-based startup. Actually, recently turned into a unicorn. They produce smart motors that is able to enhance the energy efficiency by around 20 to 30%. And on the other hand, they are able to design these smart motors that require less rare earth to produce this motor, so the cost of production is lower. For this technology, we got the license to scale the business in Thailand, Singapore as well, and Indonesia and Vietnam. So I think this is something that will be scaled immensely next year, and definitely adds on to the greener and more accessible energy. So I'll leave it at that first.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on your startup becoming a unicorn. That's a great success story there. Yeah, you mentioned a lot on the building the ecosystem and making sure that there is a right place for startups to be able to deploy their solution and creating the right sort of ecosystem. Does Dave or Ken have anything you want to add related to the built environment and how to ensure that the cities can develop a greener solution on this part?
Happy to jump on it. Just to share some of the experiences and observation, right? So if you look at a built environment, depending on which article you read, some 20 to 40% of carbon emission is actually created from the built environment, of which steel and cement probably is a greater contributor of those carbon emission. So imagine, right? Imagine if we are able to produce steel as green steel. What I mean by that is that you take recycled materials to do up the steel, and then in the process of producing the steel, you use renewable energy. In Huawei, we have this business unit called Digital Power Life. All right, and what it does is that it provides renewable energy. So imagine steel, you don't use furnace and burn it and use fossil fuel. Now you use renewable energy powered by Huawei. All right, so that's one way that we can save or mitigate some of the carbon emission. Back to you, Tanya.
So it's like the whole value chain can be more efficient, not only the end building or the site itself, right? But the whole value chain throughout the production or the execution of building the site has to be
Absolutely.
more efficient.
So we are talking about scope 1, scope 2. Hopefully we cover scope 3 to some degree.
Definitely. And definitely, if we're talking about smart cities, we cannot miss transportation. And David, this is probably up to your alley. Transport system is also accounted a lot for in terms of global carbon emission contribution. So in your opinion, how can we develop a more effective connectivity and urban mobility system that will be greener?
actually transportation only attribute to about 16% of global emission, 1/6.
1/6, okay.
1/6.
1/6,
So earlier
1/6.
Ken mentioned about manufacturing, agriculture, food production. These are the highest culprit of carbon emission. And last one is actually heating, particularly in places like European countries and the Northern Hemisphere where they do a lot of heating as well. So, but then transportation, mobility, these are prerequisites to every activities that we do in life. Whether it's a social event, whether it's commercial, whether it's industrial, there is always a component of transportation. Someone needs to send the food to you. Someone needs to harvest the wheat from the field. So in a sense, there are always component of transportation and traffic and mobility when it comes to emission. So back to your question, how can transportation play a part? I think everyone probably hear about the agenda of many cities where they are looking for full EV penetration by 2030, 2040, 2050, you name it, there will always be a number to it. But I think generally that only helps to bring down emission by, what, 10%, 15% max. I guess a lot of time it's based on individual consumption. And I believe everyone plays a big part in reducing our consumption, our footprint, in order for us to bring down the demand of the demand of things that we need. Food, clothing, activities that we do, like for instance, statistically also did mention that I'm not offending any beef eater over here, beef takers over here, consumption. I love my beef as well. But consuming a kilogram of beef, it's 20 times higher than any poultry that you consume in terms of carbon emission. That's the kind of effects that is. So I think a lot of things boils down to our personal lifestyle. But going back to a macro perspective of mobility and transportation, a big part to play comes from the policymakers. The government actually needs to come in to curb a lot of these things, including, take for instance, having milestones on when they want to do the cutover for EV, allowing sufficient infrastructure in the space. And probably Kunti can also attest to that. There must be substantial investments put in place before certain crossover can actually happen. So policymakers must already do that. And I believe a lot of that also comes in terms of financial institution, financing modeling as well. How can that be something sustainable?
Kun Atip, would you like to maybe add on that, given InnoPower and EGAT is also doing quite a bit on EV initiative, right? And you have the charging socket, you have other related application to help encourage more adoption of electric vehicle. How does the policy come to play, and what's your thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, so as InnoPower, one of the shareholders is actually 100% owned by Thai government. So I think we are working closely with the Thai government to be able to scale this as fast as the goal of the country, which is converging around 30% of vehicle production into EV by 2030. It's quite an ambitious goal, but I think it's possible. What we InnoPower do in this plan is to enhance the infrastructure in Thailand to make the EV users more comfortable to use EV products, because it's a new product, right? So we do a few things. One is that with an effort of EGAT, which is our shareholders, we deploy EV chargers across the country so that when people travel and make plans, they are able to not worried about where to get the fuels charged. The other part that we do on parallel is that we create this EV charging platform to be able to have the EV charger charge it easily. And now in the midst of integrating all EV chargers in Thailand, not just from our deployment, but across Thailand, so that it makes EV users more comfortable and able to plan that trip easier, be able to calculate where to stop to get that EV charge when they're doing a road trip, for example. So those are something that we're doing not on a policy scale, but on an execution scale to help meet the target of the government.
Yeah, that's such a lovely thing to hear. And from Bangkok myself, like I've seen a lot of people wanting to start looking into EV cars because there's already charging points in place across the country, right? And that's a push from a company like you and many other smaller players that are trying to build that infrastructure before the adoption of the car actually happens. So yeah, lovely to hear. Maybe we zoom out a little bit, moving away from the transportation only, but look more broader into some of the smart cities initiative. Ken, I think Huawei is one of the leading company who has built smart cities in, I think, hundreds of countries and regions around the world. So maybe if you could share some of the success stories or case studies or even challenges that has been faced to all of us.
Right, so happy to share some of the success story that we had done for a lot of cities. In fact, more than 160 countries, more than hundreds over cities. Let me maybe pick two examples. One of the examples is actually in Saudi Arabia. Right, Saudi Arabia, we probably built for them the world's largest power storage. Means we get the solar in, then you have to keep the energy somewhere, right? And make sure it's stored long enough. So that's what Huawei do for them. All right, so one of the largest, probably in the world, Saudi Arabia energy storage by Huawei. The other success we have, maybe I talk about one case in, say, in China, say in Tianjin, all right? So we have system that helps to monitor and provide real-time information of what's happening around the city. Right? We call it the Intelligent Operating Center. So basically, you can think about creating a digital twin. All right? So even in this room, we create a digital twin first. Then we have all the IoTs, including like CCTV, computer vision, pull all the data in, so you have your big data. Then you do your machine learning to do a prediction. Supposing today many people gather at one place, what would that mean? Celebration, event because Tanya is hosting it, or could be an emergency. All right, so all this real-time information would diagnose and provide the right prediction or guidance of what should we react on a real-time basis. Right, if we extend it further beyond this building, beyond this room, what happens if there's heavy rainfall? What happens if there's a flash flood? And flash flood does happen, huh? Including Singapore, for those of you who have visited Singapore for the first time. We do have flash floods also. Imagine real-time information coming in, we are able to diagnose and up our readiness, right, for such unexpected events. So really, we are able to put sensors so they have real-time information into the Intelligent Operating Center that will make our life more livable, more sustainable, and also we are able to react to the situation in a better way. Back to you, Tanya.
Thank you. A great example. David, as you also deployed a lot of solutions in many cities, do you have any case studies to share that is related to your current solutions?
Yes, actually we work with hardware providers or solution providers like the likes of Huawei in the world, in different parts of the world actually, in cities as well. So likewise, taking data from these IoTs, I think one of the key strengths of PDV solutions is the ability to run scenarios and forecast what's going to happen in 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute with high confidence. And so with that prediction, we are able to then inform certain things to the operational people. They can then work on certain decisions that they want. So we do have, like for instance, live deployment in places like Taiwan, in Dubai, where we manage large traffic management centers with sensors being deployed by local providers or global providers, and then forecasting what's going to happen. And if in the event where there is congestion that's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, we can already create certain decisions or options for the decision makers to make, or informing the public users, the road users as well, informing them way advanced that there's going to be congestion there in 10 minutes time, avoid that space. And this is where certain filtering can be done. So there are many situations, many use cases. There are also, take for instance, people movement scenarios that we have. So I think everyone probably would have read about the Itaewon situation during Halloween in Korea, where there was a massive stampede that occurred. And so one of the ability of one of our solution suite is also to do people movement. So take for instance, if this entire space is all filled with people, so in the event of situations, what would happen? What are your options available? Run through the scenarios. Prior to that, you have certain safety codes that you probably need to adhere to. Maybe you need one additional exits. Maybe you probably need more marshalists. So in the event of the case in Taiwan, there is a parallel that we have done in Times Square, New York, with a customer. So Jamestown is actually the investor, real estate investor, that's supporting the redevelopment. They spent about 500 million USD to redevelop that space. One of the activities that they have done is also to run simulations based on activities that's going to happen. Yeah.
Great example, and definitely relevant to a lot of the situation that happen here in Southeast Asia as well. Maybe back to you also, Khunatip. InnoPower is looking into various solutions in terms of the more smart, renewable related energy. So maybe share a little bit as we have 5 minutes left. Ooh, the warning is really big. Awesome. Yeah, so we do have 5 minutes left. Khunatip, share a little bit on innovation related to what InnoPower is looking into. What are you excited about right now? Yeah.
Yeah, so when you mentioned about a smart city, right, one of the key element to that is definitely the green and renewable energy. And in the past, I think we got, at least in several parts of the world, we would see a lot of tariffs or subsidies that come from the government. But nowadays, I think as the technology develop more, it becomes quite commercial by itself already. The thing is that in certain sector, only in certain sector that it may require additional stimuli to make it work, specifically for a smaller scale renewable energy deployment. So InnoPower, as our mother company produce around 30% of renewable energy in the country, we have certain expertise on this, and we pick one tools. It's actually not a technology innovation, but it's more of like a subsidy innovation that come from, let's say, the market mechanism itself. It's called renewable energy credits. So we are actually offering these credits to developers in Thailand who pass certain standard after the inspection, so that the developers got these subsidies, be able to retrieve return faster, and able to generate additional green energies in the country. So, aligning with the increase of renewable energies required for the country as well. Actually, and these renewable energy credits can be transferred international, across borders. And we also have some in our portfolio that's sold to some industrial users in Singapore as well, aligning with a lot of policy like CBAM, for example, cross-border adjustment mechanism that from Europe, for example. So that's, I think, one thing that is not like technology innovation, but more of like the business model innovation that also help enhance the usage of green energy and deployment of green energy.
Great. And the standard for the REC, right? Do you call it REC in short? Would be the global standard where other countries that adopt can also be transactional.
Yes, definitely. It's called International Renewable Energy Certificate or credits. It's an international standard. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's okay. So maybe David, on your end, what are some very interesting technologies you're looking into right now, as you're also an investor yourself?
A little bit into Kunti space as well, particularly in the refurbishment, remanufacturing of batteries. I think there's a space that is still very nascent, and there are definitely a lot of potential, because that's an area where we see what we're going to do with all these used batteries on the next stage. So I'm looking into that quite closely. The other one is also, take for instance, alternative energy other than just batteries. What are the other alternative? Hydrogen is definitely one of the space that is very actively mentioned by many commercial and industrial companies as well. So I'm keeping a close watch to that. But of course, these are massive ticket size investments. So on the personal side, I look a lot into the data, because fundamentally, I believe that we are still not using the data right, or we are not using data enough that we are collecting. So this is where I believe there's a lot of sustainable innovation that we can still do with the data that we collect or even enhance.
Definitely, everything on data. Ken, we have 1 more minute left for you. Anything is exciting you right now?
I'll probably give two observations. Literally, from the clock, you guys can't see, but I can see it's 1 minute. So two observations. I'll tell you what I really liked. It goes beyond digital, right, when you talk about smart city. In fact, right here in Singapore, as you walk in, if you're first time here, this is also called the garden city. So I don't think it should be restricted to the digital side of it. All right, so nature, garden city, definitely, very human to it, right? So that's one observation. The second one, I'd like to thank Tanya and also Plug and Play. Why? Because it is an ecosystem. Huawei can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. We need the ecosystem to make this happen. I'm very fortunate to have this panel and the rest of you here. And thank you for your attention. That's my 1 minute.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this panel. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Okay, all right, so I think we can move on to the next session. Thank you, all the panelists. ขอบคุณค่ะ So next, we have the startup pitches. And I would like to introduce you to my colleague, Yanisa, who will be the MC segment for the rest of the session today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanya and the panelists. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you guys feeling? So, I'm Yanisa. I'm from the Smart City Ventures team. Before we get started on our startup pitches, I would like to reintroduce you to our networking tool, Brella, where you can easily connect with the pitching startups. However, if you prefer to connect with them via an email introduction, you can inform the Plug and Play team, and we will let you know. You can scan the QR code at the end of the segment to do so. So kicking off this segment, we have 14 exciting startups from our Smart City programs who will be pitching to you today. We have a variety of startups coming from different tech verticals, such as enterprise tech, electric vehicle, energy system, hydrogen, carbon capture, and more. Bringing up our very first startup, we have FlexOS. FlexOS helps companies to adopt hybrid work and improve employee engagement and retention by boosting collaboration, community, and company culture. Take it away, Dan.
All right. Okay, I know it's been a super long day. Hello, everyone. There's the 3-minute warning, I see. How's everyone doing? Still good? Still awake? Yes? Okay, good. I see one hand up there. Okay, so I'm done. I'm going to click next slide. Okay, it's working. Great. So I'm the founder of FlexOS. We help companies to build stronger company cultures for hybrid teams. As you probably have seen in the last 2 years, a lot about work has changed. Is there anyone here in the audience who still comes into an office 5 days a week? 5 days a week? 1, 2... Okay, there we go. So hybrid work is clearly here to stay, but we see that when companies go hybrid, culture often suffers. The things that happen organically in an office suddenly don't exist anymore. And if we look on the employee side, we see that taking away hybrid work is not an option anymore. 52% of employees now say that if you take away my hybrid work, I may quit my job. And that's something we definitely don't want. Also on the employee side, we see that those people who are working hybrid, they feel lonely, they feel disconnected, they feel isolated when they're just sitting at home. And so we just released some research that shows that, therefore, a new phenomenon is coming up, which is called Office FOMO. Anyone here ever have Office FOMO? Yes, everyone except for those 2 people who are here 5 days a week in the office. So we see that up to 69% of employees here in Singapore say that sometimes they've experienced Office FOMO. So that's why we've built Lexi. Lexi is an AI ally for companies to do better at company culture when they are going hybrid, and we do that through personalized employee experience. So we work with HR, we work with managers, and we work with employees. So we get the data from the employee early on in the journey. Who are they? What are they interested in? What kind of people can we connect them with? What kind of events and activities should we organize to still keep people connected in the hybrid world of work? We then work with HR teams to do monthly engagement plans to make sure there's always something to do for people to keep connecting with each other. That then results in a big event calendar so that there's always something happening in the office. And then we use our AI, we use our notification engine to communicate directly to the relevant employees that something is happening. We also help managers to give them more ideas and timely nudges in terms of when to bring their team together. And then we give the employees an app where they can see when their favorite coworkers are going to be in the office. They can book workspace right next to their favorite colleagues, and they can join those events and activities you see here. The desk booking, meeting room booking is all in one platform. You can even scan and check in and win a prize just for showing up in the office. That's amazing. And that all results in data and insights that HR can then use to improve the hybrid experience for the team and also improve the hybrid office. So that's how we help HR teams, people teams, employee experience teams in creating better cultures. There's a couple of companies like us out there, not really quite like us, that are already over $1 billion valuation. So thanks for Plug and Play to make us the next unicorn in the HR tech space. We think this is going to be a really big opportunity. We see a market of over $6 billion here in Southeast Asia alone. And we already work with some really, really amazing companies in Singapore, in Vietnam, and now also in Philippines and Indonesia. So that's it about us. If you're interested to partner and build a strong culture, if you're doing hybrid work or remote work, please reach out. This is my email address. Okay, I see everyone taking a photo of the slide. Thank you so much, and then I'll hand it back to Yanisa. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dan. I too do have office FOMO. So if you guys would like to meet FlexOS, you can visit their booth at the Smart City area or do reach out to them via Brella. Next up, we have nBuilt. nBuilt is the largest B2B equipment rental marketplace that seamlessly connects equipment owners and users in just a few clicks. Please welcome Kek.
Hi, thanks Yanisa. Hey, hi everyone, good afternoon. Thanks for the plug and play. I'm Kek, I'm the co-founder and CEO of nsview.com. So we rent things in our life, right? Some of the things that we rent it online. We rent hotels online, we rent rooms online, sometimes we rent car online as well. So what our team thinks is, right, if we can do that online, why we cannot rent equipment, machinery, or tools online? So that is why nsview is here. So the traditional way of renting equipment or the tools, right? You will need to go through a series of very hassle process, emails, calling, clarifications, negotiations, and to get the rental done for this very simple equipment. So what we do is, right, through nsview.com, the user is able to search compact rent in just a few clicks, just like you are booking hotels. And then for the supplier, same thing as well. They could get in touch with the right audience at the right place, right? Just through our platforms. So what is the problems in the market? So for the user that looking to rent equipment, right? So the market is extremely not transparent. Typically, they have a very little knowledge about the supply availables, and they couldn't rent with the very flexible durations. The next one is actually the insurance. So when they rent equipment, they are not covered with any insurance. And the last is very hassle. So what we do is, right, nsview.com actually help them to solve all these problems. We're helping them to discover the best rental rate very fast. They can rent as short as 1 day, and we have the insurance to cover the entire rentals. And the last but not least, they are enjoying the 100% of transparency. So it's a two-sided marketplace. So for the partners, right, the key thing for the rentals company is actually the utilizations, right? And then the payment collection issue as well, to get a payment on times. They have limited access to the market with the traditional ways. And the last but not least, the equipment damage rate that works back to back with the user as well. So what we do is, right, is extremely free for them to reach out to the target audience. And we have the insurance that cover the equipment back to back. And last but not least, we guarantee their payments. So our business model is typically very simple. Our main one is actually collecting the transaction fees for every successful rentals. So let's look on this, right? There are more than 100 billions of the rental market value in the world, and less than 1% actually digitalized. So in Southeast Asia, there are 7 billions of market values. Before COVID, or even before nsview, right, every single cent was transacted offline. So we're actually the first one to make the online possible in the entire Southeast Asia. So this is how we grow, and we have a 30% of conversion rate. So we have 50% of repeated rate as well. So we solve the platform leakage issues. And last but not least, we have accumulated 500 businesses that are renting from us. So Singapore is too small. We are looking to expand to overseas, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, or even Vietnam and Philippines. Yeah, this is our team. We have a team of 10, and we are invested by some investors as well. So, of course, we are currently raising funds to actually help us fuel our expansion plan into the regions. So, last but not least, I think rental ecosystem is extremely important for the future sustainability world. We help to allocate the right resources to the right people at the right time. So, thanks a lot. If anyone have any interest in the rentals, right, can talk to me over the booth. Thank you.
Thank you, Kek, for that insightful presentation. If you'd like to meet with MBuilds, do reach out to them at their physical booth. Moving on, we have Ion Mobility. Ion Mobility is an all-electric mobility company tackling Southeast Asia market to create affordable, desirable, and sustainable mobility. Please give it up for CNE.
Hi everyone, thanks. I'm one of the 5 people who work 5 days a week in the office because we're actually building hardware. Yay, hardware. Who does hardware here? Not many people. All right, just us. So we are Ion Mobility. We started in 2019, and essentially the opportunity that we saw was to transition Southeast Asia from ICE or electric combustion engine motorcycles to electric vehicles. And we wanted to address specifically the Southeast Asian market because there are over 100 million motorcycles in Indonesia, 50 million in Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, so it's a very, very large market, the 3rd largest motorcycle market in the world, essentially. Now, contrary to popular belief, motorcycles are actually, pound for pound, more pollutive than cars are. And there's a lot more, disproportionate amount of hydrocarbons and greenhouse gases that are emitted from motorcycles. So it's actually quite a large problem and something that we can really address here in Southeast Asia. The specific issue that we're looking at, we found a gap in the motorcycle market for electric vehicles, electric motorcycles specifically, because a lot of the bikes that are in the market today are really very small, very low range, and very low powered. So we wanted to address this by creating a proper motorcycle which was high powered enough, long range enough for commuters to use, and something that they would actually find a joy to use. So presenting to you the Ion M1S. This is the product that we've been working on for the past couple of years. We've already launched this, we revealed it in Singapore as well as in Indonesia, which would be the market that we're first starting in. The range is up to 150 kilometers on one charge, and the top speed is 105 kilometers an hour with a 0 to 50 km/h acceleration of 3.7 seconds. So it's really designed to be sleek, strong, nimble, and zippy for people to use on their urban commute, and not like the toy motorcycles that you get, which a lot of them are at like the 50, 60 km range. Yeah, so we're also going to introduce, obviously this is a smart motorcycle. There will be an app that will pair with it, which will allow you to customize various things, your themes and whatnot. And at the moment, we've also signed a MOU with PLN, which is Indonesia's electric provider, to roll out charging stations. So we're going to be helping with the design and the sourcing and the production for these charging stations and roll them out all over Jakarta and then other parts of Indonesia as well. So that's all I have for today. We're always looking for partners to work with. We are almost going to close a Series A round. I think we have a little bit of space left if people are interested. If not, there's always a Series B round that's going to follow on pretty soon. So you can find me at the booth outside. If not, thank you very much.
Thank you, Siani. That was an electrifying pitch. Now you can find Ion Mobility at the Smart City booth. So for our next 11 startups, they are based in the US and EU, so unfortunately they could not attend in person. But fret not, we do have the video pitches for you guys. Coming up, we have IoT Tekka. They are accelerating the EV revolution by providing critical hardware and software components for the smart charging infrastructure. Take it away, Ira.
Hello, my name is Ira Noble, the Chief Financial Officer of IoTecha, and we are absolutely thrilled to be a part of this discussion today about smart cities and particularly smart charging for electric vehicles. With the proliferation of electric vehicles around the globe, there are several pain points and problems that need to be solved around how costly it is to deploy EV infrastructure, the issues that users face with interoperability of charging infrastructure and electric vehicles, as well as reliability issues at charging stations. End users are also frustrated by the number of cards, key fobs, and apps they need to keep track of in order to operate a charging station. Furthermore, electrons that charge electric vehicles are still sourcing fossil fuels in many instances. And finally, there are concerns about grid stability. We're excited to say that a key solution to helping alleviate these pain points is smart charging for electric vehicles. IoTeca's Advantage differentiated smart charging platform enables a lower total cost of ownership. IoTeca is known globally for its strong interoperability and high reliability. And our plug and charge technology enables end users to have the best possible experience at the charging station. Our smart charging platform is also a key unlock for both energy independence and grid stability. IoTeca is a 6-year-old company. That said, our co-founding team has been working on solving these challenges for the better part of 20 years. And they've been doing so in collaboration with many industry stakeholders. Today, our platform is already deployed globally. This includes our hardware and cloud-based services. We are grateful for our portfolio of global blue-chip customers across a broad range of industries, including automotive OEMs, charge point operators, utilities, energy companies, and on and on. At this point, we now have $37 million in minimum order quantity commitments from our customers that will apply to the next 12 to 18 months. And it's a key component of our pipeline, which is now over $400 million over the next 2 years. Furthermore, we're seeing acceleration in our top line in real time. In fiscal 2021, we achieved $5 million in revenue. We replicated that figure in the first half of 2022. And once again in Q3, we've replicated that $5 million figure again. So we continue to accelerate our growth. We are also squarely focused on profitability. IoTeca's strategy positions us to generate strong profits in the long run, driven by our services portfolio that creates annual recurring revenue at high profit margins. IoTeca's co-founders, including CEO Oleg Logvinov, have built a world-class leadership team with a broad range of skill sets. With our 80 associates and growing around the globe, we are eager to partner with you in the Asia-Pacific region to help in the development of smart cities. Once again, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for the superb presentation, Ira. If you'd like to meet IoTeca, do reach out to them via Brella directly. Next up, we have G Batteries. They are the pioneering technology which enables ultra-fast charging of lithium-ion batteries without compromising battery life or changing the battery's chemistry or manufacturing process. Kostya, please.
Hi, my name is Konstantin, and I'm here today to talk to you about G batteries, where we're able to charge lithium-ion batteries faster than conventional way without damaging the battery, all by the means of a software-based charging protocols. We started back in 2012 working on extension of life of batteries. We actually built our own consumer product, which was a battery bank that had a fantastic life in it. What we realized that nobody really cares about the life of battery until the battery is actually dead. And as a result, we ended up adding state-of-the-art tech to our long life of the battery by combining something that impacts the life, which is rate of charge. So we had long life, we combined it with long life, combine those together, we've got a fantastic solution right now. To get there, of course, we raised funding from top-tier Silicon Valley investors. We are a plug-and-play company. We are a Y Combinator company. One of our largest strategic is Airbus Ventures. And of course, we have a tremendous support from Canadian government. That's exactly where we are located in Ottawa, Canada. We have built the rocket ship hardware that enables us to achieve the results that we have achieved, and something that I'm going to present to you. And of course, we built a state-of-the-art battery lab where we were able to test tens of different types of battery cells. There's probably tens of thousands of hours of cycling of those batteries. One of the latest demonstrations is on a scooter that I'm going to show you later in this deck. And of course, we have a number of pilot projects on the go with leading car manufacturers and battery cell manufacturers as well. So let's get into the tech. Why is it difficult to charge lithium-ion batteries? Starting with battery 101. So any battery, whether it's our cell phone, our laptop, or our car, we start with 100% capacity. As we charge and discharge the battery, which is cycles on the horizontal line, we are starting to lose that capacity due to the irreversible chemical reactions that are taking place within the battery cell. Usually when we reach about 80% of the original capacity of the battery, we are considered to be at the end of life. When we try to charge batteries faster, we reach that 80% at end of life much sooner. What happens on the inside of the battery cell, in fact, is that when we charge the battery, ions are flowing from one end of the battery to another. And as we start to accelerate that rate of charge, more and more ions are starting to appear, kind of creating the traffic of ions, starting to increase internal resistance of the battery, starting to increase temperature, and in fact accelerate that irreversible chemical reactions to take place. The analogy here is that if you take a room full of people and ask everyone to run through the same door all at the same time, you can only imagine what's going to happen. That's precisely what happens inside of the battery cell. So what we did is we built a software-based charging protocol, which we combined with hardware to enable us to analyze the traffic of ions inside of the battery cell and be able to modulate the energy or modulate the charge so we don't damage the battery as much, kind of sending energy bursts. How you can envision this is by sending energy bursts, we don't have ions pushing on the back of the ions up front, which helps them to have a much safer chemical reaction to take place. Kind of taking all of those people in the room and letting them go through the door in a more organized manner. What that means? That means that we're able to charge batteries just as fast as the red line without damaging the battery. And for some like power cells, we're actually able to extend life at the same time. For more energy cells, something what we would observe in electrical vehicles, we're able to charge them just as fast and we're able to maintain the life of the battery, or at least attempt to do so. We filed over 45 patent applications with 13 patents granted. And as I have promised, here's a demonstration of electrical scooter. This is a Xiaomi scooter off the shelf. What we did is we cut off the BMS, connected it to our rocket ship hardware. And the scooter that usually takes roughly about 5 hours to charge, we were able to demonstrate the charging of the same scooter under 10 minutes without damaging the battery cell.
Thank you, Kostya. If you'd like to meet with G Batteries, do reach out to them on Umbrella. Moving on to the energy-focused startups, we firstly have FlexiGrid. FlexiGrid technology provides distribution-grid operators with real-time analytic control and flexibility capabilities. Please welcome Ruben.
Hi, my name is Ruben Medina, and I am one of the 3 co-founders of FlexiGrid. Together with Alberto and Pablo, we founded the company based on the belief that the energy transition can be done in a much faster, intelligent, and affordable way. Our team, more than 25 people these days, are located in Spain and Sweden, and we have a lot of diversity, with more than 13 nationalities. We have products designed mainly for distribution system operators and energy retailers of commercialization. The main reason behind is because we believe that orchestrating these two sides will make the best out of the possibilities that they can bring to the energy transition. We are very aware that distribution companies have been investing heavily in hardware to digitalize their company. They have included much more supervisors, concentrators, smart metering, smart transformers, and in that journey they are also investing heavily in software to define certain applications, but not all of them. FlexiGrid is the missing link that is joining all the different systems into one. I'm talking about GIS, smart metering, advanced supervisors, SCADA, whatever. We are not a GIS, we are not an ADMS. We are a functionality that we found missing in the value chain of the distribution companies. We work with low voltage and medium voltage, from end to end. We understand what is the connectivity between all the things that are happening in the network, and also we are able to help the utilities to work with the data, cleaning it and work it. We are very aware that many of these companies, they have what is called garbage in, garbage out concerns, and we do help these companies to improve in that direction by starting by a small pilot and a small area that we automatize the cleaning, the connectivity, and make this exportable and scalable to a larger area. For operations, we are able to improve losses and especially finding fraud in those areas that are conflictive, thanks to our understanding of both technical and not technical losses. And our algorithms fully focused in that section. Improving quality and reducing the number of operations in the field is also a benefit that improves the day-by-day operations of a utility. These days, with a bigger penetration of electrical vehicles and PV, planning of the grid is even more important than ever. We provide a powerful digital twin that allows to understand the network, how it is and how it would be in different scenarios. We are able to understand for short term and understanding capacity and connections that you may have for certain requests, or long term, how your network will behave if this transformation center may have a 40% penetration of electrical vehicles. The last step is flexibility, and the use of the flexibility is the key to reduce investments in the electrical network and reduce the tariff that the customers will pay. In doing that, we need to provide understanding of everything that is going on and allow the connection with other actors in the system to provide flexibility or activating the flexibility directly. Thank you very much for your time. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Ruben. If you'd like to meet FlexiGrid, please find them on Umbrella. Next up, we have Trost Corp to deliver high-performance cloud-based energy storage systems for small to medium-sized energy projects. Give it up for Vienna.
Nice to meet you all. My name is Vienna Zhou, CEO and founder of Choice. Choice uses our proprietary microgrid-in-the-box solution to help faster rollout of the microgrid to achieve more sustainable, resilient, and economic energy environment. So what is called microgrid? Microgrid is a decentralized and distributed energy network. The massive electrification, decarbonization, and the digitalization will make the aging centralized grid replaced by the less costly, cleaner, and more independent microgrid eventually. This is an unstoppable trend. While our technology, integrated energy storage and microgrid control are two of the four critical technologies in forming up the microgrid. Our technologies enable the microgrid, like the heart and the brain, to store the energy and allocate energy distribution so as to increase energy efficiency and reduce the waste. How does our technology work? Energy will be obtained from the various sources, such as the grid, the solar, the biomass, then injected into our box, while the power will be stored and transferred over time according to the pre-programmed algorithms on different use cases. For example, if you want to store power at lower cost and then use it at higher cost, the operation mode could be set up as 1. If you want to use it with solar panel to get rid of the diesel, the mode could be switched to 2 to form an autonomous renewable self-supply. Today, Choice has over 6 megawatt-hour deployed and contracted in 4 different countries, with over $50 million weighted pipeline out of our total $50 million sales opportunities. We have systems integrated into the Siemens Atlantic Smart Grid platform as well. We even won against Tesla in achieving the others. We have a very strong team to make things happen. A few tags on myself. I've been with over 18 years of experiences in energy efficiency and the renewable energy industry. I have a Master of Mechanical Engineering and MBA. Our biggest differentiation is we adopt a highly modular, customizable off-the-shelf design. And we also productized and platformed the operation scenario into the software to form a plug-and-play solution to provide the right sizing solution at a much lower than the market price with faster and simpler delivery. Our hardware deliveries drive the strong recurring software revenue stream. All our systems sold today actually will help us lock millions of our future sales. We also launched a right of first refusal strategy to lock customers' next purchases. Our technology and services contribute to a high-value loyalty program, which increases the vendor switching cost, so customers will be willing to purchase from us again and again. So far, we have obtained over $7 million raffle agreement from our key account clients. For example, those strong raffle we signed will help lock tens of megawatt-hour opportunities in the next few years. Our key strategy is to farm these key accounts. We have closed the negotiation with more than 60 of these key accounts. When we lock 120 key accounts, we could be a $100 million company. Please look at the left side, which is a comparison of our performance starting from this April. Our sales performance is soaring. We have closed over $2.6 million booking year to date. Starting from this year, we've adjusted upward our forecast 3 times from $2.5 million to $5.2 million today. With only $1 million seed round, it brings us to where we are right now. Choice this round of raise will definitely fourfold our revenues. Investing in a company nowadays with emerging market, intriguing technology, tracker records, and strong booking will be definitely your choice. Thank you very much.
Next up, we actually have Solite, which is developing an efficient and affordable static solar lighting system. It collects sunlight throughout the day and effectively channels it into a full spectrum interior lighting. Ofer, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ofer Becker, Solite co-founder and CTO. Solite, an Israeli startup, develops innovative, patented daylighting systems for our built environment. We made our first steps with the help of the highly supportive Israeli Innovation Authority. On 2017, we received the EIC's Horizon 2020 SME grant of 1.5 million euros, with which we were able to develop our systems to market-ready level. Starting out as a lean 2-man team with Dror, my younger brother, as CEO, taking care of the business side, while I covered optical and mechanical design, we relied on longtime friends and consultants supporting us along our way. Ramping up, we were fortunate to add Maayan to our team. She has been a real driving force, single-handedly responsible for the many commercial achievements we have been enjoying this past year. Humanity evolved under sunlight, which controls our circadian rhythms, for thousands of years. Yet now, in our modern cities, we spend over 90% of our time indoors, away from the sun, under unhealthy and energy-wasting artificial lighting. Seeking a solution to these problems, we have developed our highly efficient, fully static sunlight harvesting system, similar in principle to a submarine periscope, collecting sunlight on a sunny rooftop or facade and efficiently transporting it in real time indoors where it is mostly needed, windowless inner rooms, underground floors, or north wings. Our market is huge and growing, driven by the EU daylighting standards, energy prices rising due to the Ukraine war, and the EU's decree making all non-residential buildings net zero by 2030. Shown here are validated market segments with high added value. Natural sunlight is also ideal for indoor agriculture, since unlike humans, plants do not settle for poor imitations. Solite is commercially ramping up in the Israeli market, enjoying a growing presence in multiple lucrative market segments. Gearing up from POCs to large-scale projects, we are providing natural lighting solutions for urban renovation projects, industry, and sheltered homes for the elderly. Our business plan is based on partnering with synergistic EU partners, setting up mass production at their facilities, and using existing distribution channels into the EU built environment which is yearning for energy efficiency solutions. Buildings are responsible for 40% of our global emissions. Solite is a validated, significant, and positive tool to reduce those emissions. We have raised 3 million euros so far in grants and from private VCs, currently raising 5 million euros dedicated towards initiating our overseas operations. Help us bring sunlight to life.
Thank you, Ofer. That was a delightful pitch. You guys can connect with Solite Umbrella. For our night startup, we have Twefda. They are developing a solution for producing, storing, and managing energy offshore. They are able to generate unprecedented levels of wave energy and store large amount of energy in the greenest way possible. Give it up for Javier.
We have designed a system which we call the Twefda Association, with two complementary modes of operation: energy generation and storage. Energy supply and demand worldwide rarely match. A wind turbine providing power when required is great, and so is a battery of any kind charging when energy is abundant. However, if the wind turbine produces power in a windy night, when demand is low because everyone is sleeping, or the battery is charged when the energy is scarce, their functionalities are counterproductive. As a result of the inevitable mismatch between supply and demand for energy, we often see wind turbines frustratingly unused on windy days. And the electricity grid has to rely on fossil fuels more than should be necessary. That is bad news for the world's need to decarbonize and meet net zero targets. But since the ES-Wave can be set up either as a generator or storage device, we can always compensate supply and demand by increasing or decreasing both consumption and supply. This is the biggest USP of the tool and a key to achieve decarbonization. We have designed an internationally patent-pending system which we call the Twefda Association. It is composed of a Twefda hub, a central platform which is ideally a decommissioned oil and gas platform that is repurposed. Around the hub are attached 6 satellite devices, which we call ES-Waves, a point absorber wave device with two complementary modes of operation: energy generation and storage. The Twefda Association is a collaborative design which welcomes other offshore generators. Based on collaboration, we don't speak about competitors, but other leading technologies, starting by saying that those in the same industry we are at are precisely our customers. The most relevant in the wave industry are probably Core Power, Eco Wave Power, Atarek, Bombora, and Wello. And in the storage industry, Tesla, Leclanché, Wärtsilä, and Gravitricity. The ES-Wave delivers dual functionality, allowing sustainable renewable power to be harnessed, generated, and exported. The ES-Wave also offers energy stored for use at a future opportunity. This represents a market-first capability. Twefda has 10 areas of innovation that we are able to license to our target clients in the energy markets. Between 2023 and 2025, our short-term strategy is to license technology for enhanced production, perform consultancy, and license rights for manufacturing certain components of the Twefda Association, notably the dynamic compensation tank technology, which can be used to increase energy production for existing wave energy manufacturers. Progressively, Twefda will commercialize the other aspects of innovations that will require further development and investment, and will keep this scheme indefinitely, enhancing their innovations on a regular basis. Longer term, our model will integrate an industrial partner who will drive the entire market, initially with a consortium of manufacturers who will provide the physical components of the Twefda Association. We seek an industrial partner acting as final customer who will drive the development of our system through to commercialization. Twefda will remain a consultancy and technical partner to our industrial partner. In the meantime, we need a lead investor to invest $750,000 towards a £3 million crowdfunding campaign in 2023 to make our concepts through to next product development stages. Thank you.
Thank you, Javier, for the fantastic pitch. If you'd like to meet with 12 Da, you can find them on Umbrella. Coming up, we have green hydrogen startups, starting with Pensaco. Pensaco recycles biomass waste, plastic, municipal waste, and CO2 into carbon negative green hydrogen, renewable electricity, and biochar. Please bring it on, Robert.
Thank you for taking the time to learn about Pensaco Technologies. We deliver the fastest path to carbon removal and global green hydrogen. My name is Robert Kelly, and I'm the president and CEO of this exciting business. Pensaco produces 3 primary products. These products meet demand for 3 of the fastest growing markets in our lifetimes: ultra green hydrogen, customizable biochar, and high value carbon credits. Pensaco ultra green hydrogen is carbon negative, and it has a 99.999% purity, 5 nines, which means it can be used immediately for purposes including fuel cells and transportation. Pensaco biochar has the highest fixed carbon content, and our proprietary technology can alter the pore size as well as the surface area, allowing us to customize the biochar and improve its efficacy for different types of crops or different types of land reclamation projects. Pensaco carbon credits are among the highest valued carbon credits, due in part to our feedstock choices, in part because we have a carbon negative process to produce it, and also, most importantly, the permanence of the fixed carbon in biochar. Pensaco technology is based on proven pyrolysis and gasification hybrid technology that has been run at commercial scale for many years. This system enables 24/7 continuous operations, 96% availability, feedstock flexibility, and product customization. We have improved this platform with global patents for power amplification and for a dual stream hydrogen system. Power amplification increases power production from the same BTU value by 30% over competing thermal technologies. And our dual stream hydrogen system can increase the amount of hydrogen produced by 4 times from the same amount of feedstock. A typical 4-ton per hour plant will remove 30,000 tons of CO2 equivalent each year, avoid 300,000 tons of new CO2 entering the atmosphere, and generate $8 million in annual cash flow. This is cash flow, not just revenue. Pensaco is the only readily deployable solution for commercial scale green hydrogen today. Pensaco management is among the best in the business. Our team has founded, run, and successfully exited renewable energy startups. We have deep experience building and managing projects worth tens of millions of dollars, and we look forward to introducing ourselves to you. Pensaco has established an impressive pipeline of opportunities in both the US and Africa, and has completed vetting processes for development partners in India, Europe, and South America. We have a well-defined strategy for building 30 plants in the next 5 years and over 250 plants by 2033. We welcome discussions with partners such as yourselves that can introduce us to our technology into Asia. As you can see from the pro forma summary, Pensaco expects to achieve our first $1 billion per annum revenue by 2033. Profit margins at the corporate level are maximized through a very innovative model that moves risk and operating expenses on special purpose entities. These entities are wholly owned plants, and they distribute profits to the owners, of which Pensaco is generally the majority shareholder. Pensaco also generates annual licensing and support fees, regardless of ownership structure. Pensaco is raising $10 million from new and existing investors to build on the great engineering and project development work our strong team has already completed. This capital will support our transition from a technology development into project development. With it, we will expand our team, commercialize patents, and engage the project pipeline. Participants in this round will benefit from outsized returns while supporting a company that will vastly improve the earth. Thank you for your time. Please contact us for additional information. And to find out how to capitalize on our great work we have already accomplished, reach out to us today.
All right, thank you, Robert. You can connect with Pensaco Umbrella. For the 11th startup, we have OcoChem. Their electrocatalytically converts captured CO2, water, electricity to make green hydrogen energy in an energy-dense, non-flammable liquid hydrogen carrier molecule, formic acid. Welcome, Todd.
Hello, my name is Todd Bricks, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of OcoChem. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you today how Ocochem converts carbon dioxide to store and move hydrogen energy more safely and affordably. Renewable energy is expected to provide over 50% of global energy production by 2050. It is obvious, however, that batteries are not going to be the only energy storage method, especially for mobile, off-grid, high-duty, large volume, and long-duration energy storage applications. Therefore, the use of hydrogen and hydrogen carriers is inevitable and is forecasted to be a $10 trillion global market by 2050 and store over 98% of the world's renewable energy at that time. However, the adoption of the hydrogen economy is inhibited by numerous hydrogen-related storage, distribution, and compression problems resulting from the physical attributes of hydrogen gas itself, and it's resulting in a very high cost of distribution. Fortunately, all of these problems can be overcome via the use of a liquid hydrogen carrier, formic acid, which Ocochem uniquely makes using its patented electrolyzer technology. Ocochem makes formic by converting abundant carbon dioxide, water, and electric energy in a single electrolyzer device. Then, to release the hydrogen from the carrier, Ocochem has also, with partners, designed a hydrogen generator device that cracks formic acid so the hydrogen can be immediately used as a fuel, a feedstock, or as electricity. Ocochem's carbon flux electrolyzer converts carbon dioxide and water and electricity to form formic acid using a unique gas diffusion electrode design. We just completed our first industrial scale prototype last month, as you can see pictured here. The hydrogen generator technology depicted here has been integrated with a fuel cell and a fuel tank to provide a 20 kilowatt power generator solution. These power generators are being widely deployed today at construction sites across Europe to replace diesel gensets. Formic is an ideal hydrogen carrier because it is very energy dense and stores 38 to 590 times more energy than batteries or hydrogen gas itself. But most importantly, it is also very safe as a non-flammable, non-toxic, biodegradable, and is generally regarded as safe by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Finally, it is easy to move in existing tanker trucks like those designed to move milk. Because formic is an energy-dense liquid, it is 90% less expensive to distribute than compressed hydrogen. Consequently, even though it is more expensive to make initially, the combined cost of production and distribution result in a 75% lower delivered cost compared with gray or green compressed hydrogen. Ocochem's formic is also a green platform chemical that addresses a $300 billion market by providing a direct, derivative, or decomposed feedstock for a wide range of applications. Ocochem has attracted wide interest and has current contracts with 3 customers, including Nutrien, the U.S. Army, and Tacoma Power. Ocochem has converted its expertise, technical progress, partnerships, and grant funding into multiple early-stage commercial demonstration projects. Our extended leadership team brings together over 200 years of green chemistry, hydrogen processing, and electrochemical startup and scale-up experience from leading companies and top universities to execute a differentiated strategy that achieves a market leadership position. In summary, Ocochem's breakthrough patented electrolyzer process unblocks the hydrogen economy by enabling customers to store, move, and use hydrogen in a safer, lower cost, carbon neutral, and drop-in compatible way. Thank you very much for your time. Please do reach out and let's decarbonize profitably together soon.
Thank you for the informative presentation, Todd. If you would like to connect with Ocochem, you can find them on Umbrella. Onto carbon capture startups, we have Capture 6. Capture 6 help business, government, communities to mitigate the risk of climate change through direct air capture with a proprietary CO2 removal system. Thomas, please.
Hi, my name is Tom Ricciardi, and I'm the Vice President of Business Operations at Capture 6. In 2022, the IPCC released its 6th assessment report on climate change. The UN agency flagged that in order to limit global warming to 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius, the world needs 2 huge processes to start immediately and concurrently. The first is large-scale CO2 emissions reductions. The second is large-scale permanent removals of CO2 from the atmosphere. These challenges are complex and massive. We need to draw down about 200 billion tons of CO2 over the next 80 years. In 2020, the world collectively removed 35,000 tons permanently. By 2030, just 10 years later, we need to be removing 1 billion tons every year. By 2050, this will be a $3 to $4 trillion sector and market opportunity. Capture 6 has a proprietary carbon removal process that allows us to permanently remove CO2 at less than $100 per ton. This is in line with market prices for carbon on various compliance markets today. With salt, water, and energy as inputs, we build facilities that sequester emissions from existing industrial plants to reduce those emissions, and simultaneously remove CO2 from the ambient atmosphere to permanently remove CO2. Our core business model is to sell permanent removals to clients that need to reduce their emissions. Our customers today are large corporations that are looking to establish themselves as leaders in the climate transition and build a sustainable competitive advantage. In 5 years, though, our customers will be companies that want to sell their products in jurisdictions that have a carbon tax on imports. For instance, in 2026, the European Union will begin taxing the carbon emissions of imported goods from certain sectors. Canada and Japan are also contemplating carbon equalizing taxes on imported goods. Our facilities can be readily adapted to generate clean, green byproducts, such as green hydrogen, lithium, or other industrial chemicals. This transforms what is traditionally viewed as a cost center, carbon capture, into a revenue-generating opportunity. We also can adapt our process to create co-benefits that enhance social and environmental outcomes, such as clean water, ocean deacidification, and others. We can't do this alone. Our strategy is to scale rapidly using existing industrial and financial resources rather than developing them in isolation. Working with partners in the energy, industrial, commercial, and financial sectors, we're looking to develop and build an existing pipeline of facilities that will rapidly allow us to remove more than 2 million tons per year. If you are interested in learning more, investing in Capture 6, or partnering with us on a carbon removal facility, please reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. You can connect with Capture 6 via the Brella app. On to our second last startup, we have Microwave Solutions that leverages advanced microwave pyrolysis and plasma green tech platform to convert hard-to-recycle carbonaceous waste, biomass, and gases into valuable byproduct. Welcome, Dr. Florian.
Hello everyone, my name is Florian, co-founder and CEO of Microwave Solutions. Smart cities source carbon above the ground, from polymer waste, from atmospheric carbon, from biomass, as well as from gases like exhaust. With our advanced microwave plasma and selective depolymerization technology, you can exactly achieve that in 2 different ways. Through selective molecular recycling, so breaking down the different carbonaceous materials into the individual chemical building blocks, as well as through carbon capture and the further dissociation. So for example, CO2 into solid carbon and oxygen, or CH4 into hydrogen and solid carbon. And in order to meet the needs of critical and scarce materials and to make the business cases even more attractive, you can further convert the solid carbon into nanomaterials. All of that in one agile and modular solution stack, consisting of 3 different key modules. A multi-phase reactor for the selective depolymerization, a non-thermal plasma for the secondary cracking dissociation, as well as a thermal plasma for the further conversion of the solid carbon into nanomaterials. Smart cities need smart solutions, and our technology is smart. Actually, we are making microwave smart. We can selectively cut and dissociate molecules where you need it. So if long chain or short chain molecules, this way we can create a very different and unique solution space. We can not only process all materials without any further pre-processing, if liquid, if gas, if solid materials, up to entire wind turbine blades. with the up to 16 different phases our system has, and the undefinitive number of different distillation steps we can subsequently have, we can create an undefinitive number of molecules, oligomers, hydrocarbon products, different oils, and recovered products which you need in one continuous process. Not surprisingly, we have good traction and we have a strong pipeline. We are creating samples and we are creating proof of concepts in 12 different pilot systems we have. We have already submitted 10 patents, creating a robust protection of our IP and of the technology. We have already commissioned a number of different systems and pilot systems. And we have already pre-orders for the next couple of years, which are above the 150 at the moment. That is not only putting us on track for a very robust base case of about 60 million in revenue by 2025, even for the upside case of 150 million at the same time, or even better upside cases or best cases, which are possible with the business development traction we have at the moment. Our ask, POCs, pilots, purchases, strategic partnerships, and your investment, so that together with us, a team which has the courage to leap and which has significant experience in the development and commissioning of microwave-based processes, and with your expertise and footprint, we can bring circularity to a next level. We can bring smart cities to a pace and a speed which is inspiring and which inspires action. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Florian. You can find Microwave Solution umbrella. Finally, last but not least, we have BioReset. BioReset produces 100% organic compound via microbiological fermentation. The organic polymer biodegrades faster than conventional plastic resins and can replace plastic production. Take it away, Fernando.
Hi, my name is Fernando Piovesan. I'm the founder of BioReset, a project born in 2018, which came to be a startup willing to be the first company in Latin America to supply the plastic industry with the new generation of raw materials for short lifespan plastic application, totally organic and 100% biodegradable in the natural environment. We are focused in bringing a new approach to solve the plastic pollution problem. According to a WWF report, the worldwide average of plastic recycling is 9%. In Brazil, you cannot even reach 1.5%. Only 24% of all the collected plastic waste end up as a post-consumer resin. Consequences to the environment and human health are very severe. Our solution is to provide the plastic industry at a competitive price, a new approach in terms of raw materials for a short and medium lifespan application. Our bioresins are totally organic, 100% biodegradable in the natural environment, highly scalable, and can be processed by the industry in the very same manner ordinary plastic is, even bringing savings in terms of energy consumption since it has a lower melting point than plastic. When applied to food industries, for example, we can offer our clients an unprecedented level of sustainability, making their biodegradable packaging from their own organic production waste, which is also very expensive for those companies to handle. At the end of its use, if discarded improperly, products made from our resins will not cause any harm to the natural environment, but biodegrade as any other organic compound by the action of degrading bacteria that exists in any soil or natural water. The reachable market for this resin is huge. In Brazil only, there are almost 11,000 companies that consume over 8 million tons of plastic resins every year. If we bring to account the products up to 5 years of lifespan only, we have more than 4 million tons of plastic resins to prospect, building a $15 billion market per year. There are only 10 to 20 companies around the world with a solution similar to ours, and they are all located in North America, Europe, and Asia. Bringing this 100% biodegradable solution to the Latin American market would mean a revolution in the way companies relate to the natural environment. Our project has developed with proprietary capital for the first 2 years, when we were able to register our first production patent. After that, we achieved new milestones in terms of development, bringing highly specialized researchers to our team, building our professional lab, and registering 50 more patents, all of them taking the industrial and agricultural waste into our production protocols. Since last year, we have been working with AB InBev with a pilot to apply our resins to their packaging, using their brewing waste in our production. Earlier this year, we started building our pilot plant, which gave us the possibility of producing samples and making application tests with our material. And now we are working together with Braskem with our go-to-market strategies. By the end of 2022, we plan to start implementation of our first production facility to work with specialized applications. And as our midterm plan, we plan to build a 5,000 ton per year capacity facility, consolidating all the work we have put together so far. Our multidisciplinary team has great specialists in each area, and the technical research team brings decades of experience in bioplastics to our company. 3 of the main partners are already inserted in our daily routines, and as we scale up, so will the rest of the team. We are looking for funding to put our production plans into action. The doors we have opened with the major players in the Brazilian market give us the confidence that demand will not be an issue. We have plenty of knowledge and experience in producing our bioresins, and the tests that we have been running show all the applicability we wanted to have. The construction of our first production facility will give us the opportunity of revolutionize the Brazilian plastic industry, and the next plants will be installed from reinvesting from our own operations. So this is BioReset, a highly innovative company that is developing the new generation of raw materials for the plastic industry, bringing to the market a truly sustainable alternative to help reducing the plastic waste pollution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fernando. If you'd like to meet with BioReset, do reach out to them via Brella. Now, it's time to wake up because we have come to the end of the segment. Let's give a round of applause to our Smart City program startups.